They say life's a beach, and the Avs are riding the wave right now. But for them to go perfect on this road trip, they'll have to avoid the Sewer Gators and defeat Florida Man in round number 2. Whether it's Mai Tais or mocktails, this is the DNVR Avalanche pregame show.
It is the Toyota Lounge, brought to you by your Front Range Toyota dealers and the Bet365 pregame show. Glad to have you guys along for this one. Oh, it's going to be a good time. Hi, everybody. Nick Gismondi with you. This one presented by Coors Light. Thank you so much for being with us. Rudo's here. Hey, cheers, bud.
Cheers.
I mean, Florida road trip. Might as well have a good time with this, right? I mean, cocktails in the sand.
You got to manifest the good weather a little bit.
Tropical drink melting in your hand. We're hanging out with you guys today. Thank you so much for being part of the DNVR Avs pregame show. Again, we are presented by Coors Light. Tons of fun stuff happening. If you are not chilling at home waiting for the snow to come, please indeed come down to the DNVR bar on Colfax and York and hang out with us. Have a cocktail. We got some specials going on. Game Sound will be on. It's going to be a really good time. We're looking forward to having you. Boys are on the East Coast.
Yep.
Chilling.
Must
Florida,
be nice. Must be
weather.
nice.
Yeah, we probably should have gone on this trip. Not sure how we missed that one. Listen, this team right now is sort of trending in the direction that we wanted them to trend in.
Yep.
Right? They're starting to get the participation. They've got the contribution. They're trying to figure out what it is they're going to do goaltending-wise.
For sure.
Which is an adventure.
It is.
But let's talk about just sort of yesterday, if you watched the show, you know that we talked about where they are at after 20 games. The state of this team coming into this game tonight, it's got a little bit of weight to it.
It does.
Because you're banking some serious points. I don't think any of us necessarily thought that these guys were going to rip off potentially 4 wins on this road trip.
Yeah, look, at the start of it, you said, hey, if you go 500, you feel okay with it. They're already beyond that. So this road trip is already a win, regardless of what happens tonight.
Yeah.
But you would love to see this team keep it rolling. You would love to see them go perfect on this trip. I think they owe it to themselves a little bit to have a stretch like this where they maybe go 6, 7, 8 wins in a row to help make up for the start of the season, whether that's in or out of their control, however you feel about that. This is a hockey team that is certainly capable of going on long winning streaks, especially with the lineup that they have now. Yeah. It's significantly better. They've shown they can put 7 goals on 25 shots or whatever it was the other night. It's not going to happen every night. It's probably not going to happen tonight against Vasilevsky, but they have that level of firepower. And when you're going into a building with a team like Tampa, not to take away from Tampa's talent, they're an unbelievably talented team, especially at the top with guys like Kucherov, but as a whole, the Avs with the lineup they have tonight should be the better team on paper.
I'm a massive Jared Bednar fan. I truthfully am. Vote for him for the Jack Adams all day long, in my opinion, at this point. He confuses me sometimes, though.
Yep.
He does. And I, listen, I've coached hockey, I've played hockey, I've scouted hockey, I've obviously broadcasted hockey at a high level. I don't know sometimes where the head is at. Like, you're starting Eustace tonight.
Yep.
Okay. Gorgiev's played pretty good.
Yep.
I get it. Maybe you don't want to ice him the whole time, so I understand why you're rotating Eustace in. As much as I have beat the drum on the whole, I don't understand the Shillington experiment. He played good last game.
And now he's sitting, yeah.
And you're putting DeHaan back in tonight, which I love because I think Calvin's the better fit in that role. I do, and I will say that consistently the entire time, and I think he's going to have an unbelievable game tonight. But, I don't understand. I'm not sure what the message is. And I'm sure he's communicating better to them.
Yeah, Bednar has, generally speaking, always been a guy who, when you're talking about rotations with a goaltender position or with a sixth defenseman, not that play doesn't mean anything. Obviously, you have to play well to continue earning your keep, but I don't think he ever has really taken into consideration stretches of good hockey versus stretches of bad. He has his rotation, and he's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm sticking to this. I'm not going to go play a guy again because he had a 2-point night, or go play a goalie again because he had a 950 or whatever. And he likes to stick to his plan. I'll put it to you that way. He's not going to change it up too much because of outside factors. So he's probably been consistent with his messaging as far as to the team is concerned with these rotations. Look, at the end of the day, Bednar is going to play the guys that they have and do what he feels is best in any given game. I don't think he's perfect. I don't think there's any coach in the league that's anywhere near perfect. They all make mistakes all the time. But right now with the Avs lineup, they have the luxury of being able to swap these guys in and out a little bit instead of just having the guys that they have.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I just I was always a consistency guy. Okay, I like to know.
I get it. A lot of guys are.
I like to know what's going on, how we're doing. By the way, that shirt looks phenomenal on you. By the way,
thank you.
Like you're Tommy Bahama-ing the heck out of that.
Vibing.
Yeah, you are vibing. I think tonight what you want is you. If I'm focusing on anything, if I'm a Colorado Avalanche, and then we'll move on. It has got to be the start tonight.
Of course.
That has been the consistent oops for these guys for a minute now. So the start has got to be solid. No matter what happens, like, I don't care what happens, you have to make saves in the first 5 minutes. Like, that's got to be a team-wide mandate. Do everything you can to prevent a goal in the first 5 minutes of this game.
Well, and look, it's not just, hey, the Avs have been bad in first periods lately. Yeah. Their last game against Tampa, they gave up 3 goals in 6 minutes to start the game.
I recall it, yeah.
That needle should be sticking in the Avs' craw right now, and they should be aware that it needs to be better.
Reverse that.
Exactly. Go put 3 on them right away.
Go pop in 3 on Tampa.
Yep. Feel good about yourselves on that.
Yeah.
Tampa and the Avs are interesting because, in theory, they both want to play the same style of hockey.
Yes.
And that's supposed to lead to high octane both ways, but you need both teams to show up if you want to get that. This is 2 teams that there are games that are at higher risk of blowouts than others. I think this one is a pretty high risk of a blowout. Who knows which way, but if one team's going and the other team isn't, numbers can pile up quick.
Avs are feeling the offense right now. If they can keep that rolling, I mean, I kind of called it last game that they were going to come in hot with some goal scoring. They can do that again tonight. We'll talk about that in just a moment as we touch on Nathan Mackinnon and getting him to shoot the puck a little bit more. But before we get there, let's check in with our man, Big E, who's out in Boston right now, calling in with the 3 keys.
Big E's 3 keys against the Tampa Bay Lightning, 4th game of their 4-game road trip for the Avalanche. 3-0 so far, so let's get it going. Key number 1, perfection. Like I just stated, 3-0 on the road trip. You want to make it 4-0. You do have short-term goals as a game, as a team. It's exactly what they probably set out before heading on the road trip. Wow. 4-0, you look back at the end of the year, you go, wow, that was a place and a time where we really turned things around, obviously coinciding with, additions to the lineup. So let's make sure you strive for that perfection tonight. It's an accomplishment that you don't do too many times in a season. Number 2, have some swagger. Be proud. Be happy with the lineup that you have right now. It's obviously a little deeper than it's been all year. And, walk tall. You're a good team. Show the rest of the Eastern Conference, especially through your swing right now in the East, that you're a solid team, that you're a team aspiring to be there at the end of the year, and you want to be the team that comes out of the West. It starts now. It doesn't start like, obviously, when the playoffs starts. It starts at the regular season. Right now, they're in a great momentum swing. Let's keep it up. Number 3, simplicity. Simplicity is key. There's a reason the Avalanche are not giving up a lot in the defensive zone. And I know there's been a few breakdowns here and there. At the end of the day, they're not giving up a lot. What does that mean? Keep it simple. They rely on their structure defensively. They rely on their structure in the neutral zone. And then obviously they are very smart in the offensive zone. key to getting the most offensive chances starts in your own end. So stringent, key, hard defense leads to great offensive zone chances. So let's keep it up. There's a reason they're 3-0, and the part of it is obviously the simplicity in their structure. Let's make it happen.
All right, thanks, E. As we mentioned, seeing it in the Twitter chat, Calvin DeHaan is back in the lineup. He is healthy just fine. However, the big news coming out of warm-ups that just got announced, that wasn't even figured out at morning skate, is that now Drouin back out of the lineup with a upper body injury.
Avs can't have nice things, I guess, man. He looked great the other night. He scored 2 goals.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the same thing that was bothering him or if something else flared up. It sucks either way. I don't know. I guess in theory it doesn't have to stop happening. Eventually, the Avs could just stay getting hurt forever. But you would think eventually they start getting some better luck with these types of things. Hopefully it's nothing serious for Drouin. As far as replacing him is concerned, it's a lot easier than it was a couple weeks ago, but still going to be a piece that the Avs are missing in that top 6.
Yeah, that's a bummer tonight for sure. Definitely didn't see that one coming, didn't see anything happen. We'll do our best to get you a little bit more clarity on that as it comes, but that being the only roster change, as well as Eustace in net and DeHaan back in, Shillington back out. And let's talk some hockey in the Rockies with our man, Big E. And Eric, I got to ask, luxury for these two coaches, right? You look up and down these benches, you got a lot of depth, you got a lot of star power. Certainly wasn't the case for Bednar early in the season, but now he's kind of breathing a sigh of relief in that regard, no?
You're right. You're right, guys. Very similar lineup in a sense. A lot of offensive power. A lot of key guys on the back end, obviously, probably getting the edge because of Cale Makar to Colorado on the back end. And obviously Vasilevsky has been such an important key figure in the National Hockey League as one of the top goaltenders. So, but up front, I give the Avalanche the nod. But very similar rosters where there's a lot of high contracts, top heavy. And they've had success. I mean, the Avalanche have won. Those guys have won a couple. If I'm a coach, again, I'm not. I'm doing this thing here with hockey in the Rockies and not coaching. But if I was the coach, I would love to go toe-to-toe. I'm not so worried about matchups, and I'd be more worried. I think the world wants to see it is you want to see battle of the Titans. You want to make sure that top line versus top line, big dog versus big dog. I think that's what's important. I think the matchup comes more a little bit on the back end on who you put up against their top guys. But up front, I like to see mano a mano, big boys versus big boys, and that certainly sets up for one of those tonight.
Obviously, we're vibing on the Florida right now with the glasses and the tropical shirts. Probably won't last to post game, but maybe it will. I don't know.
Depends on if it starts snowing or not. We'll see.
Thank you, buddy. We should have sent you a Hawaiian shirt as well, brother. Hey, listen, the last question I have for you in regards to hockey in the Rockies. Tampa Bay is a special place, obviously. There's a lot of memories for the Avalanche, even though it's a few years removed. But you won a cup in that building. I mean, what's the feeling? What's the thoughts?
It's funny because Rudo makes fun of me all the time with the routines and the superstitions and whatever you want to call it. But I'll tell you one thing: there's none bigger. I've never had the privilege, to feel that feeling. But when you go back to a building where you reached the summit, you lifted that Stanley Cup. I'll tell you one thing, you walk in that building, I don't care if it's morning skate, for the Avalanche this morning, and there's an aura. You can still feel and smell the champagne, and you walk a little taller, you walk a little prouder, it's kind of amazing, the feeling that you get, even though you're not in your building, but this is somewhere where you accomplish something special as a group. And I think, even though not everyone on the Avalanche squad was there, but a lot of people from the staff and the players were there, it does something special tonight when you do walk in there. It gives you that little extra boost, and you're trying to close out that road trip, make it a 4-1. Perfect place to go and finish your road trip because you know you've had success there, and it does translate into that. I don't know why. It's just a weird feeling. It's crazy. Rudo thinks I'm nuts about those things, but you know what, Rudo? It's true.
Hey, look, if it works, I'm not going to complain. Even if it's not real, if it makes you play better, fine.
You guys have such a fun back and forth. I love it. Like two hockey minds. Like it's the two smart kids in the class battling for the A+ on the test. Is what the two of you are to me. I love it. That's great. This team has the ability to really double down with Drouin out of the lineup now. Potentially, you see a bigger step up for guys that maybe stepped back a little bit when they got help in the lineup, and specifically that leads into our next conversation about Nathan MacKinnon getting. Listen, he's doing great.
Yeah,
like no complaints at all about Nathan MacKinnon. He is in MVP form still, but man, it would be nice if he shot the puck a little bit more.
Yeah, I think we've talked a lot about him shooting the puck. And,
Yeah.
And with Drouin out, that becomes even more true.
Yeah.
But also, just go ahead and go out there and remind the league that you're the best player on the planet. I don't care if it's 4 assists or 4 goals, whatever it might be. Make the plays that set up your team for success and be the Nathan MacKinnon that everyone knows that he is. Go show Kucherov that, hey, there's a reason I have that MVP from last year and you don't, buddy.
Yep.
It should all fall on Nathan MacKinnon a little bit. And not because of, I need him to play better. Like you said, it's good to remind yourselves just how good this guy actually is. Leading the league in points, leading the league in assists. Oh, by the way, we feel like he's not shooting enough. He's still on a 30-goal pace this year.
I know.
So, that's just how high the standards are. I want to give him a lot of credit because we are hard on him, because you have to be hard on your superstars. But we're hard on Nathan MacKinnon because he is that good. There is, other than Cale Makar, basically no one else on this team can live up to that standard. And Nathan MacKinnon is the guy who makes the difference in maybe not a blowout game, but close game. You need a goal. That's the guy you're looking at to do it. And you have faith that he'll get it done for you. So trust in the guy and trust in the Avs to do the great things.
Solid call there, A-Wolf. I like it. 3 points tonight, maybe for our boy Nathan MacKinnon. And again, no criticism at all of him. It'd be impossible to criticize that guy right now with the way he's doing things. So I have none of that. I want to see him shoot the puck more because I think A, they'll score more goals. B, he'll score more goals because he's just that good.
He is. He really is. And it's not a knock on anyone on Tampa. They're a very good team too, but who on Tampa Bay is going to stop Nathan MacKinnon? Yeah, sure. Nikita Kucherov can play great offense for you. Sure, Anthony Cirelli is a great defensive forward, but you're not going to mark a forward on Nathan MacKinnon. You need the defense to do that. Victor Hedman is not the guy he was 3, 4, 5 years ago. Their defense should be suspect when it comes to stopping the Avs' top guys.
Yeah. And I think, again, the quicker you jump on a team like Tampa Bay tonight, the better situation you put yourself in, no question about it. They're a good hockey team. But Florida's a good hockey team, too. You beat them pretty handedly.
Yep.
No reason you can't do that again tonight. Yes, you will miss Drouin, but it's a possibility to give a chance for some other guys to step up a little bit. I really do hope that there's a big step up tonight, defensively, offensively as well.
Yeah. The Avs kind of end up in these weird games where when they play well, they score a bunch of goals, and it feels like they give up a bunch of goals, and that's okay. They can get away with that. But you would like to see them play, again, I don't like the full 60 mantra, but play a complete game, quality from start to finish. Yeah, there are going to be stretches of the game where Tampa is better than you, but don't break maybe quite so easily. If you're up 3-0, keep it 3-0. Don't let it turn into a 3-2 game like the Avs have a few times this year. Make sure you finish out, and really the Avs have been very good at finishing, but the reason the Avs have a negative goal differential is they've given up a lot of garbage time goals that make teams feel like they were maybe a little bit closer than they were in some of these games. So I'd like to see them finish one out strong.
Hey, can we make a pact? Can next season when they do the Florida swing in the middle of winter in Denver?
No, we're definitely going next
Okay,
time.
instead of sitting in the studio, can we maybe do this
on the beach somewhere?
On a beach? Like, I mean, I feel like that's fine. Tiff, you don't care about that, right? You like beaches?
I love when my equipment gets all sandy. It's my favorite.
Sounds like she might not be on board with the whole beach thing.
It's okay. I'll bring my camera. We'll be good.
I'll bring my stuff. We'll set it up.
Yeah,
we'll get her a couple of Mai Tais. Are you Mai Tai, Rum Runner, Pina Colada? What's your tropical drink, Tiff? Oh, what's your tropical drink?
I don't really have one, if I'm honest.
I'm a Pina Colada guy.
I'm a beer is good anywhere guy.
Yeah, beer is good anywhere. These are delicious, though. Noah here at the DNVR bar.
These are good.
Cooked us up a little something with vodka in it. It's fantastic. Hey, make sure you come hang out with us at the DNVR bar on Colfax and York. If you are watching the game tonight, come chill. Like, we'll have a good time. Fortunately, we can't do a watch along tonight because of
Nuggets crossover night.
Yeah, it's a weird crossover thing. So we're going to do some stuff on social media, however. So make sure you're following along on the DNVR Avs social media. And if you are around, come hang out at the bar because we're just going to chill there.
Fun fact, Walrus, they use that footage without permission.
Oh, I didn't. You have to tell me exactly what was said.
Your
I missed
Netflix documentary appearance.
Oh, mine.
Yeah.
Oh, people saw that.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't actually. I didn't know that was actually happening. Didn't know they used it, and I started to get a bunch of phone calls about it. Obviously, I didn't watch that. I was. It's a story for another time, and not for a pregame show. But I was about 10 feet away from the first explosion in Boston in 2013. So that was a tough day. But I did not know I was in that Netflix documentary until everybody started calling me. They're like, "Hey man, you're on Netflix right now." I was like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "The Boston Marathon bombing show. You're in it." And I was like, well, yeah, I was right there." But yeah, that was a scary day. But yeah, thanks for watching it, Walrus. They did a really nice job with it. Let's switch gears. How about something that's not ordinary? And that's Bet365, buddy.
That is never ordinary with their pre-game picks. Went a couple different ways with this one. Had some that I thought are locks, and then we had some fun with a few. I took a Makar power play point. The Avs power plays continue to be very good. Makar continues to be a key part of that. And so I went with the crazy one and said Makar 4+ shots on goal. Nathan McKinnon's not going to shoot. Cale Makar will. I'll put it to you that way. So that's plus 1,600, which I don't know if Makar gets to 4, but if he does, that's pretty darn good money. And then we have our boy Eddie. He put out his Avalanche parlay on Twitter today. Went with his parlay of a Nichushkin goal, 2 points for Cale, and the Avs to win in regulation, all together for plus 1,100 if you want to get in on a nice little parlay for this one. Unfortunately, could not find a bet for how many times John Cooper was going to whine to the refs tonight. But, you guess you can't quite bet on everything. Only actual sporting things that are happening.
The winningest, whiniest coach. I saw that in the chat earlier, too. It was that was well said. Yeah, that's, listen, man, he's fun. He can't take anything away from John Cooper, though.
You cannot. Hey, look, his record stands all on its own.
Can't take anything away from him.
Obviously one of the best coaches in the NHL, but I would not mind if he was a little bit less of a lawyer. So
he is a lawyer.
There is that. And
You're
so
wrong.
we don't get lawyered up. Make sure when you're gambling with Bet365, you're 21 or older, physically located in Colorado, and you or somebody you know, if they have a gambling problem, make sure you're calling 1-800-GAMBLER today.
Did you kind of call me out on that earlier? A little bit.
A little bit. That was off air. You're fine.
Yeah, all right.
It's only a problem if you keep losing.
We bet a little bit tonight. Hopefully we win tonight. Hopefully we win tonight. We've never, in my defense, thankfully to our friends at Bet365 who gave us such an awesome deal when you use code DNVR 365. I have only put in to Bet365 since we've been doing this $10 of my own
You've been
money.
riding that $200, $150 in free bets for a while now.
100%. I have not put any of my own money currently into Bet365. It might annoy them a little bit, but makes me very happy. So make sure you get in on that. The folks at Bet365 doing a wonderful job. It's a lot of fun. The app's super intuitive. It's all good. Puck drop coming up. What do we? What's the vibe? I mean, I feel pretty good about the vibe.
Yeah, I do too. I think the Avs have kind of, I don't know if it's found their confidence, or I don't know exactly what word you want to use, but I think their offense is clicking, even with the loss of Drew, and I think their offense has kind of found itself again, at least in its top six. You've seen the depth play a whole lot better when it comes to their I think their offense is about the same. It's just a little bit easier for them to find dangerous plays because they're playing against other third and fourth liners. That's kind of how hockey's supposed to work. So I think it'll be a good one. I'm going to say 5-2.
Oh,
I'm going to go 5-2 Colorado on this one.
5. Oh, we did say we were going to do this, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get last one. I missed last one. Nobody got any points last one.
None of us had the 7-4.
Okay, you're 5-2. Tiff, do you have one right now, or do you want me to go? Okay, so I'm going to go, you said 5-2. I'm going 4-3.
$1, Bob.
4-3. 5-2.
5-2, 4-3.
4-3.
Tiff, what do you got?
3-0.
Oh,
The shutout.
Shit.
Going big. The Juice shutout on the board.
Oh.
Sure,
What's
why not?
that look like on Bet365? What's a Houston?
They're usually like plus 1,600
Look that
or
up
something
real
like
quick.
that.
What's a shutout look like? Might have to take that actually
Tiff,
tonight.
your drink might need to be gin and juice if that's if that's what you're taking. All right.
I don't like
Let's
gin.
see.
That's a hot take.
Shutout.
Azure, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing okay physically and mentally. Actually,
Only plus 1,100.
Thank you.
Not too crazy.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
interesting. Interesting.
Maybe Tiff's onto something.
Maybe Tiff is onto something. She's got the Vegas inside knowledge. I like that.
I bet there's some crazy stat that when Eustace plays in Tampa
on a
on
Wednesday,
a
Monday.
yeah,
Yeah.
like he gets, he
He's
wins.
1-0
no,
in
totally.
shutouts. Yeah.
They do give you those stats, right?
They do, yeah.
On a Monday in Florida, if the
When the
sun
temperature's
is in the
above 57
eight-
degrees. Yeah.
Stupid. Tiff is phenomenal. I completely agree with that. Yeah, she's doing a good job. Listen, I think the other big key tonight, I think, when you have the defensive, here's what I really want to see tonight. Shillington had a good game.
He did.
Last game, got the hat, got 2 points. Love it, great. Calderon back in tonight. I don't need him to have 2 points to have a great game tonight.
Correct.
What I want to see is the biggest credit you'll see for Cal tonight is as if he shut down defensively, but creates a good game for Sam Malinsky.
Yeah.
Let's watch how Sam plays tonight, and that will determine the game that Cal had.
I mean, I don't even know if he ends up playing with Sam Malinsky for the whole night, right? For as good as Oliver Shillington's game was, the hole in your lineup for defensively right now really is Josh Manson.
Yeah.
And you put Calvin DeHaan into the lineup, guess who's going to play more and who's going to play less? Well, Josh Manson's going to play less and Calvin DeHaan's going to play more because that's a guy you trust defensively.
Right.
And Manson is the one having the defensive issues. So, like you said, it's not about the 2 points for DeHaan tonight. It's about going out there and giving up as little as possible, playing effective defensive hockey, making the Tampa Bay Lightning's life hard in the offensive zone. So, I expect a quality shutdown game out of him. He's been doing a good job of it all year. It's interesting. And I'm as much of an analytics guy as anyone, but a lot of the time the shutdown defenseman's analytics aren't going to be the best on the team because that's just not their role. They don't play in the offensive zone. Their role is to limit high-danger chances, and that's the type of thing you want to look at more when it comes to someone like Calvin DeHaan. He does a good job of that tonight. Look, I think at the end of the day, I think the 6D spot is DeHaan's to lose, and by December he'll be every day in that role, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Some things left to figure out in that regard. Hey, we will miss you for the watch along. We're going to do some fun stuff on social media, though. So make sure you're following the DNVR Avs on our Twitter. We'll be back with you for postgame, most certainly. Of course, we will also have Eric joining us. He's going to do stuff for intermissions, and we'll have a good time. But if you are in the Colfax and York area, come hang out. Rudo and I and Tiff are literally going to go sit down at the bar, belly up, and watch a hockey game. And if you want to come hang out with us, we would love that because they got some specials going on. There's some football tonight too, but we're just literally going to be chilling at the bar
Fun
watching
vibes.
hockey, which is a pretty cool vibe. Thank you so much. Puck Drop is right now. A big thank you to Coors Light, who is our presenting sponsor. Thank you to Tiff for all the hard work she does, and for my boy Rudo. Buddy, I love that shirt on you. I might have just lost that shirt.
It's your
Mine,
shirt,
but
buddy. Yeah.
it might be yours now. We will see you for the post-game show. Follow us on the DNVR Avs Twitter throughout the game. We'll keep you updated, and we'll have some fun stuff for you there. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.